think it's worked. Hi guys, I didn't think it was going to happen. Oh, yay! And we're live. Second attempt, but we got there. I was a little bit worried for a moment. I thought, not again. Thank you for joining me. My name's Karina. If you haven't practiced with me, I'm going to be taking you through a nice yang yin practice. So every Friday I've been doing these, and the idea is that we warm the body up for the first half of the class, go through some faster movements, and then we slow it down in the second half of the class and just have a good stretch and a nice relax, and hopefully it will set us up for the weekend. So as with every yoga class, I always say this, but it's always good to remember to be gentle with your body, to be kind, and to not take it too far. Always listening to your body and just trying to find that meditative space, that sweet spot between effort and relaxation. I hope you're all well, and I hope you're looking forward to the class. And we're going to start on our back. So coming onto your mat, you'll need, for the second part of the class, you'll need a block or a cushion will do, or another yoga mat will do, or some books will do for one of the postures that we'll be doing. So yeah, if you have a block, just bring it close to you, and let's come to lie down. If you don't have a block, no worries, we can modify. So just getting nice and comfortable. Just bring shoulder blades under the back. Let's close the eyes. And let's get settled in. Allow your body to be heavy and relaxed. Having no expectations for the practice this evening. Allow the eyes to be soft and heavy. And just bring your awareness to your breath. And as always, without changing how you're breathing to begin with, just noticing. And just starting to deepen that breath now, and drawing it down into the abdomen. And just beginning to lengthen the exhales. And as you lengthen those exhales, just allowing everything to go, anything that no longer serves you from your week, from your day. Anything that's been taking far too much of your energy, just allow it to go. And start to bring the breath up into the body, into the chest. Just feeling your ribs expand. Let's bring the hands onto the mat, either side of the body. Let's just check that those feet are hips width apart or slightly wider. We're going to come into some bridge, or bridge pose, some repetitions of bridge. So again, just check those shoulder blades are under the back. And as we inhale, let's start to lift the hips off the mat. And as we exhale, slowly lowering back down. Inhale to lift up. See if you can roll up the spine, so tucking the tailbone under as you lift. And as you exhale, rolling from the upper spine all the way down. And then as the sacrum hits the mat, and just rolling the pelvis forward. Inhale to lift up. And again now, doing this to the rhythm of your own breath. Move a little bit more quickly or more slowly if you need to. Just starting to wake up the pelvis and wake up the hips. And at the same time, just starting to move to our breath. Just noticing that rhythm in the body. And with every inhale now, just bringing those hips a little bit higher. And just beginning to squeeze the glutes at the top. Before you lower the hips back down. And as you do this, again, just being aware of how the body feels right now, how the hips feel. Maybe you're feeling it in the quadriceps, in the hip flexors, maybe in the lower back. And on your next inhale, we're going to hold at the top. Holding at the top, maybe interlace the fingers behind the back. A little bit of a shoulder stretch, shoulder opener here. Again, squeezing those glutes. And we'll hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, release the hands and lower all the way back down. Let's hug knees into the chest. Maybe a little roll from side to side with those legs. Just opening the hips a little bit here. And let's bring the knees above the hips. And try to get a right angle in the backs of the legs. We're going to tuck the tailbone under so the lower back is connected to the mat. Bring the hands behind the head and just lift the shoulders off the mat here. So just starting to wake up the core. Inverted table. Now really want you to be aware of pulling that tailbone under so you've really got a good connection between the lower back and your mat. And keeping the knees bent, we're just going to come into some toe taps. So lowering one foot to the mat, bringing it back up, and then lowering the other foot to the mat and bringing it back up. And again, really focus on keeping that lower back to the mat. And just that intention, you should hopefully really start to feel it work through the core. Good. We'll go for 4 more each side. We're going to keep the focus on that lower back. Drawing the lower ribs in. 2 more each side. One more. And soften the head and shoulders back to the mat, squeeze the knees in. And return to that position again, so knees over the hips. And again, ankles in front of the knees, hands behind the head. And this time, we're going to do those toe taps again, if that was enough for you. Otherwise, we're going to straighten one leg out towards the mat. Just hover that heel, don't let it drop. And then bring it back in, take the other leg down. And again, the whole time, the focus is on that lower back. If it's too much with the leg straight, just come into that previous variation, just with the toe taps. Nice and slowly with the breath. Inhale to send the leg out. Exhale to bring it in. Inhale to send it out. Exhale in. You should really feel that core working. If the core isn't working, you're probably arching into the lower back here. So again, keep that tailbone tucked under as much as you can. And lifting the shoulders up will really help to keep that lower back connected. So it doesn't look like too much is going on here, but really inside, you should be feeling quite a lot. Let's do 2 more each side. One more. And release. Head and shoulders to the mat. Hug the knees in and give yourself a squeeze. And again, when you're ready, returning to that position. Knees over the hips. Hands behind the head. So we're going to do exactly the same. Starting with the first position, the toe taps. But this time, as the knee comes in, we're going to come into a little oblique twist. So the right elbow is going to head towards that left knee. And then lowering back down. And then coming into the other side. So we're into this kind of motorcycle movement. So when you're ready, begin, and again, just keeping that lower back connecting to the mat as much as you can. And just keep the breath going. Hopefully that core is really starting to wake up. The heat starting to come into that core. Let's do 2 more each side if we can. And release, head and shoulders to the mat, hug the knees in. And again, last one. So continuing to do that variation, or we're going to work through the extended leg version. So as the leg goes down, you're going to come up towards that right knee, and then switching to the other side. So again, it's going to be a little bit harder in the core, but if that's what you want, that's the one you're going to go to. Otherwise, you're going to just continue with the toe taps. So knees over the hips, and again, the lower back really connecting to the mat, hands behind the head. And when you're ready, lower one leg and bring right elbow opposite knee. Try not to bring the knee too far up, so you're looking for it to come back over the hip rather than all the way up into the chest here. And there's a little bit of coordination as well involved in the movements. Good, let's try 4 more. So 3, 2, 1, and release. Hug the knees in. Let's straighten out the legs. Stretch the arms above the head. Just stretch out that core. Maybe lifting the lower back up a little bit here. Imagine you're trying to pull your lower ribs, your belly towards the ceiling. Just releasing after that hard work. And let's draw knees back into the chest. Hands onto the backs of the thighs, and let's rock forwards and backwards. And we'll make our way up to a seated position. Let's swing our legs around. So hopefully that core feeling nice and strong now. Nice and warmed up. So let's come to a tabletop position. Just take my jumper off. As always, shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. And let's send that right leg back. So option to keep the foot on the mat, option to lift that foot up. So the heel is in line with the hips and the tailbone is tucking under, so we're keeping that strength through the core. Hopefully you're feeling that core a little bit more now as we've already warmed it up. Try to keep equal weight in the hands here and try not to allow that hip to open. So keep it locked down in line with the left. We're going to point the toe and we're going to do some little pulses. So pulsing the heel towards the ceiling. As you do this, you're going to try not to dip into the lower back. So we want all the work to come from the glute rather than dipping into the lower back. Remember, it's not about how high we can get the leg. We're trying to isolate the movement from the glute here. So, since being a yoga teacher, even before, I've noticed a lot of people have weak glutes. I used to have really weak glutes. I work a lot on my glutes to get them nice and strong. If you're a runner or a cyclist or do any kind of sports, then weak glutes are really, really important for hip health. So this kind of thing can really start to strengthen into your glutes and start to bring some activation into those glutes. And it's the biggest muscle in the body, gluteus maximus. But for a lot of people, it can be one of the weakest. We sit on our bums a lot, and that creates weakness as well in the glutes. Good. Hopefully that bum is feeling warm. And we'll release. We'll bring the right knee to the mat. Let's sit back on the heels. Reach the hands forward. Maybe rock the hips from side to side if that feels nice. And let's come back up onto those hands and knees. And let's do the other side. Straighten that left foot back. And again, lifting that left foot up. So nice and open through the chest. And again, just check that you're not dipping into the lower back here. Keep the core on, neutral spine. And finding length through your spine so the neck is long. The hip isn't open, drop that left hip down. Pointing the toe. And exactly the same as this side. So we don't want the back to move at all. Just little movements through that leg. And just check, look back. Is the top of your foot pointing towards the mat or is it opened up? Is it going all over the place? You need to work on your coordination in this posture. Just a little pulse up and down. And the heel is pointing towards the ceiling. The top of the foot is pointing down. And keep going. Again, just check that the hip doesn't open. Again, when we're working with the body, sometimes it likes to take the path of least resistance. Over our lifetimes, we have bad habits that we build into our bodies. So the yoga practice and any kind of practice, any kind of body work, we should be retraining our body out of those bad habits. Hopefully you're warming up a little bit and you can feel that glute warming up. Maybe you're feeling lots going on in the right leg as well, as that's stabilizing us in this movement. Stay here a little bit longer if you can. And we'll release that knee to the mat. Sit back on the heels. Little rest in our child's pose. Maybe a little rock from side to side. That feels nice. And let's come to a tabletop position again. Let's just work into the wrists a little bit here. Just rock forwards and backwards. And go around, figure of eights around those wrists. Take it the opposite way. And let's tuck those toes under. We'll send hips back and up. And we'll find downward facing dog. Stretching through those legs, just pedal the heels. Notice how the body feels. Take a twist if that feels nice in your body. Let's walk hands towards the feet. And we'll take a little forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to. You can take hold of opposite elbows if you wish, or just keep hands onto the mat. Maybe you want to continue walking through those legs. And let's roll up to standing. And let's reach the arms high, take an inhale. And exhale, we'll interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, send the hands away, lifting the gaze. And as we exhale, bend through the knees, flex through the spine. As we come into a forward fold with a bit of a shoulder release here. And again, you continue to walk through those knees if you wish. You can make some rotations in the neck. That feels nice. Loosening up the neck. And ground through the feet. Inhale to come all the way back up. Release the hands. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, let's interlace the fingers behind the back of the head. So those feet are hips width apart or slightly wider. We're coming into some squats. So as we inhale, let's open through the chest. Find that length through the front body. And as we exhale, let's move into a squat. Sink the hips as low as you can, but keep the chest open. Inhale to come up. Hips forward, arch it back. Exhale, rounding down. But keep the heart open. So don't come elbows towards knees in this one. Inhale, coming up. Open the chest, send the hips forward. Exhale, coming into that squat. Stop if that upper back starts to round. Inhale, coming up. Hips forward. Exhale, coming down as low as you can. Shift the weight to the heels. Inhale, come up. Heart open. Exhale. Inhale, move forward with the hips. Open the heart. Exhale. Inhale, heart open. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, send the hips forward. Exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Stop when the hips are about level with your knees. Take the arms forward. Find a little chair. Just working those legs a little bit more. Working the hip strength. Heart is open. Inhale. And exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Lifting the gaze. Let's walk the hands forward. And find your downward facing dog. Feet hips width apart. Let's shoot that right leg high. Finding our 3-legged dog. Press in back through that right heel. The right hip is closed. Dropping down in line with the left. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Pull the knee in towards the chin, squeeze. And inhale, send it back. 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in round the spine, squeeze. Inhale, send it back. 3-legged. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. Inhale, send it back. 3-legged. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. Inhale, send it back. 3-legged. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. Let's hold. Hold in for 3. For 2. Shoulders over the wrists. 1. Inhale, send it back. 3-legged. Exhale, we'll bring that right foot around to the outside of the right hand. Lower the hips. Hands inside of that right foot. And let's just start to rock forwards and backwards. Just opening through the hips here a little bit. Straighten through that right leg. Bend back into that right knee. Straighten right leg. And bend back right knee. Straighten right leg. Bend right knee. Reach right arm high. Little twist. 1 more breath here. As we exhale, bring that hand back inside of the right foot. Inhale, right leg back and up. 3-legged, exhale. Downward facing dog. Left leg reaches high. Inhale, 3-legged. Press back through that right thigh. Reach through that left heel. Finding length through your spine, strength through the body. Can you find that line of energy running from the hands all the way through to that left heel? Come onto the ball of the right foot. Inhale. Exhale, around the spine. And draw the knee towards the chin. Shoulders move over the wrists. Inhale, send it back up. 3-legged. Exhale, bring it in. Squeeze. Inhale, send it back. 3-legged. Exhale, bring it in. Squeeze. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, bring it in. Last one, inhale. Exhale, hold in this one. Around the spine. Find that compression strength. Hold in. For 3. For 2. 1. Inhale, send it back. And exhale, bringing that left foot around, outside of the left hand, making our way into our lizard variation. So staying on the hands here, just a little bit of movement through the hips. Notice how the hips feel. Let's straighten the left leg. And exhale, bend into the left knee. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Coming into a twist. Left hand reaches high. Stay in one more breath. As you exhale, left hand comes back down inside of the left foot. Inhale, left foot back to meet the right downward facing dog. Let's hold our downward facing dog. Notice as the body warming up a little bit now. You're feeling that energy moving a little bit more freely through the body. Send right leg high, three-legged dog. Hold that three-legged dog. Point the toe, come onto the ball of the left foot. Send that foot as high as you can, and then open up that hip. As you open up that hip, drop that right armpit down, working the outer glutes here. Can you find a little bit more strength in that right leg? Use the quadriceps. Straighten that leg as much as you can. Inhale. Exhale, close the hip. Bend that right knee, bring it in. Inhale, send it back. Three-legged and open the hip. Exhale, close the hip. Bring that right knee in. Inhale, send it back. Open the hip, reach high. Exhale, close the hip, bend the knee, bring it in. Inhale, send it back. Open the hip, take it high. Exhale, close the hip, bend the knee, bring it in. Inhale, send it back. Open the hip, take it high. Exhale, we're going to plant the foot inside of the hands this time. Find that compression strength as you bring that right foot through. Back into our lunge. More of a traditional lunge with the feet in line with the hips. Let's bend through that left knee. Hover that left knee off the mat as we straighten through that right leg. Then back into the right knee, straighten through the left leg. And switch, bend through that left knee, straighten through the right leg, hover that knee. Bending back into that right knee, straighten through the left. And again, we'll do two more. Bend through that left knee, straighten through the right leg as much as you can. And bend through the right knee, straighten left leg. Send the hips low. Straighten right leg, bend left knee. Let's stay here. Let's hover. Heart forward. Finding strength through the legs, strength through the hips. Let's straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, plant the hands, and send that right foot back and up. Let's find three-legged dog. Let's open the hip and exhale. Downward facing dog. And holding your downward dog. Taking a little rest. And we'll come into the other side. And straighten that left leg. Three-legged dog. Come onto the ball of the right foot. Point that left toe. And then open that hip up. Find strength through that left leg. Again, be mindful that that armpit doesn't want to open. It wants to open to the side. Keep pulling it down towards the mat. Feel the strength. Send the energy out through the toes in that left foot. Inhale. Exhale, close the hip, bend the knee, bring it in. Inhale, send it back up and open the hip. Exhale, close the hip, bend the knee, bring it in. Inhale, straighten through that leg, open the hip.
Exhale. Bring it in. Inhale, send it back. Open the hip. Exhale. Bring it in. Inhale, send it back. Open the hip, planting the foot this time. Exhale. Around the spine. Bring it in, plant that foot. Back into that lunge position. You're noticing how your hips feel. Making sure you're still in control of that breath. Nice deep breathing. And let's straighten through the left leg. Hover the right knee off the mat, little bend. Exhale. Bringing that left knee back over the ankle. Inhale. Bending through the right knee, straighten the left leg. Exhale. Bringing it back to the lunge. Inhale. Straighten left, bend right. Exhale. Bend left, straighten right. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Let's hover here. Find that strength. Keep the chest open if you can. Working that strength through that right leg. I know it's tough. Just hold if you can. And bend through that left knee. Plant the hands. Send that left foot back and up. Find that three-legged dog, but open the hips. Send it high. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward, high plank. Exhale, press back. Downward dog. Inhale, move forward, high plank. Exhale, press back. Downward dog. Inhale, move forward, high plank. Exhale, press back, downward. Inhale, move forward. Find that high plank. Exhale, press back, downward. Inhale, move forward. Holding our plank this time. Look at nice and strong. Tuck that tailbone under. Squeeze through the glutes. Find strength through the legs. Strength through the core. Nice and wide across the collarbones. Shining that heart forward. Don't let the lower back dip. Don't be here. Keep the strength in the core. We'll hold for 5. Keep the breath going, controlled. For 4. For 3. For 2. Squeeze those quads. And 1, as we exhale, lower down. Chaturanga. Oh, dropping knees, chest, chin. Coming onto the mat. Let's bring the elbows forward. Stacking the hands. And let's do Shalabhasana. So we're going to do variation of Shalabhasana, just focusing on the legs. So starting with the right leg. Keeping the hips connected to the mat as best as you can. If your hips aren't connected to the mat, again, just the intention to keep those hips down. So imagine you're just trying to push that pelvis into the mat as much as you can. And we'll start with the right leg. Little bit of a lift up as we inhale. And exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Maybe it's just a tiny movement. It's all good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, just check that that left hip doesn't lift. Inhale. Strength through the legs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands by the chest. We'll tuck toes under. Press the hips back. And up. Finding our downward facing dog. Let's raise the right leg again. 3-legged dog. And bringing that right knee into the center of the mat. as we come into our swan pose, variation of our pigeon. So get settled in. If you need cushions underneath that right hip, grab cushion or grab a block. Intention to get this left hip moving forward and down. So look back. If you see that that hip is opening up to the side of your quadricep, it's pointing out to the side, and the heel is in, the toes are starting to point out again, try to bring that heel on top of the foot and try to bring the quadricep towards the mat. And we're just going to hold it here. Just get settled in, nice and relaxed. The neck is long. So your option is to stay here for your option one. If you want a little bit more of a quad stretch, you can bend that left knee and take hold of the foot and just pull that foot towards you. And it's just going to increase the stretch through the front of that left hip. Maybe it's just a little pull, maybe you can be here, this is fine. You can use a strapper as well around that foot. If you can hook the elbow around that foot, go ahead, hook the elbow. You can take mermaid if you wish, take it a bind. Not for me today. Body is saying no, 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 no. This is more than enough for me right now. So again, it's just respecting your body on any given day. And we're just going to try, when we're there, to just find stillness as best as we can. Nice deep breathing. So if you have the foot, you're getting a nice chest stretch here at the same time. Working through the shoulder and the bicep a little bit here as well. And just be mindful you don't start to roll off. Just try to keep pressing the hip, left hip forward and down. And soften the face. Relax the jaw. And just notice if the posture changes. Is it moving around? Maybe it's becoming a little bit more intense the longer we hold. And is the mind wandering around? Or can you keep it focused in this posture? Again, we don't have to have the foot here. We can release if it's getting too intense. And now slowly, slowly releasing that foot. If you tuck that foot, bringing it to the mat. Let's bring the hands onto the mat. We'll tuck the back toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Let's walk it out. And we'll come into the left side. Let's raise left leg, three-legged dog. And bending that left knee. Bring it forward to find our swan. So our safer variation of our pigeon. That knee closed. And again, as you come in, just have a little work into it. So working that right hip forward and down. Getting nice and comfortable. Working length into the spine. Opening into the chest. And again, if that hip is lifted, use a block or a cushion underneath that left hip or that left thigh. Just take a moment to notice how you feel in this posture. And again, if you wish to, bend that right knee and take hold of the right foot, just to get a deeper quad stretch in that right leg. And again, if you're going well, you can hook the foot into the inside of the elbow. You can take your mermaid posture here if you wish. Just honor your body and just know that you're going to be here for a while. So if it's tough to come into it, then maybe don't take the more advanced variation. So it needs to be a bit of a challenge, but one that we can hold. You can close the eyes here. Just focus in on the breath and breathe into your tension. So whether you feel that more in that left hip, the left leg, or in the right leg, the right hip, wherever you feel it, just breathe into it. And again, just checking the face, just make sure it's staying soft. We're not tensing up that jaw. We're not creating more tension somewhere else in the body as we release the tension from the hips. Maybe emotions come up. Maybe it makes you laugh here or makes you a little bit sad. And that's fine. It's completely normal. Stay here a little bit longer. Just keep those breaths deep and controlled. Try to prevent the mind from wandering off. Keep the mind present and focused. And slowly, slowly releasing that right foot. If you took that foot, bringing it to the mat. I'm going to swing that right leg around. And come into cow face. So we're bringing that right leg over the left. Maybe here is enough for you. Maybe you can already feel work through that right hip. Otherwise, you're just going to start to stack the knees, bringing that right foot a little bit further round. So for me, I always need to adjust my right calf. It always seems to get stuck underneath my leg in this posture. So we're here, sitting nice and tall. I'm going to add arms to this as well. We've worked out our arms a bit, so let's stretch. Take the arms out in front. And we'll bring the right arm underneath the left. To take our full cow face posture. And again, maybe you're lifting the elbows up. That's not full cow face actually. It's a mixture of eagle arms with cow legs. Just stretching in between those shoulder blades here. And again, just noticing how the shoulders feel. Notice how the hips feel, how the legs feel. So for me, I usually have to open my external rotation a little bit before coming into this posture anyway. So always a pigeon or a swan, recline pigeon, or any kind of hip opener before coming into this one. Otherwise, this one is just too intense for me. Okay, we all have different bodies. Maybe you can lift those elbows a little bit higher here. Take a few more breaths. And slowly lower the elbows, release. We're going to come into the other side, funky way into this. Bring the hands to the left. And then just come onto the feet. Move around. Keep the feet where they are, just pivoting on the spot. And then as you come in, back to the front, hopefully the left leg should be over the right leg now. And then just start to make your way into whatever position feels nice in your body on this side. Get nice and comfortable. Intention to get that left sit bone down. Again, if it's too much on the knees, just come out of the posture a little bit. Maybe just bring in that left foot to the outside of the right leg here. And always listen to your body. And pain is there for a reason. Discomfort from tension is different to pain. So the more you practice, the more we'll know the difference and we'll become more aware of what our bodies are doing. Take the arms in front. Left arm underneath the right now. Crossing right arm underneath the left. Right arm, left arm underneath the right. There we go. And lifting those elbows high. So eagle arms, cow face legs, long through the neck. And relaxing. Maybe squeezing that left leg down onto the right. Feeling that left hip open here. Maybe you have to really focus. Maybe it's intense. Certainly is for me. Notice how the shoulders feel. This is really stretching the upper back as well between the shoulder blades. So do you feel particularly tense there this evening? We'll hold for a few more breaths. And lower the elbows, release. Swinging that left leg around. So if you have your block, you're going to take your block now. And coming onto our backs. For supported bridge. So shoulder blades underneath the back. We're going to lift the hips up and then just bring your block and place it under the sacrum. So that's a nice big bony bit in the lower back. Just make sure it's not on the lower back, but it's actually on your pelvis. And depending on how open you are in the front of the hips. Maybe it's just on the small side. And so you've got 3 different heights for your block. So you can have it on the small side, you can have it on the side of the block, or you can have it lengthways. And that will just open the hips a little bit more. And then you can bring the hands by your side, or you can take them overhead. And just allow gravity to move all of the energy from the pelvis up the body. And just try to relax completely. You can straighten your legs if you wish here. That can feel nice. If it puts a little bit too much pressure into the lower back, then of course, just bring the feet back onto the mat. And deep breathing. And with every exhale, just allow yourself to let go. Allow your abs to lengthen, stretching out from the work that we did at the start of the class. And slowly, slowly lift the hips up and bring the block from underneath the hips, lowering the hips back down. Take your block off to the side. I'm just going to window wipe the legs here. Feet on the mat, drop the knees over to the right. Bring them back through center and drop them over to the left. Back through center, over to the right. Through center, over to the left. Bring them back to center and give yourself a squeeze. Maybe a little rock from side to side. Just releasing, massaging the lower back. And we'll come into our final posture now. Nice, chilled Shavasana. Take your heels as wide as your mat. Take up space with your arms. As always, if you have a blanket, please grab your blanket just to cover yourself. If you have socks, put your socks on as well. And just taking up space with your arms. Shoulder blades under the back, neck long. And releasing your Ujjayi breath, return to a normal breathing now.
So just taking a moment to notice the stillness of the body. Noticing the calmer energy within the body. And just bring your awareness to your natural breath. And of course, your option now to stay in your Shavasana as long as you wish. It's given the body the time it needs. Especially as you're at home, no need to rush from your Shavasana. Just enjoy the peace and the stillness. Otherwise, take in a deep inhale and exhaling the breath, connecting navel to the spine. Inhale breath into the heart space. And exhale breath into the fingertips and the toes, starting to wiggle fingers and toes and bringing movement back to your body. Rotating your wrists and your ankles and moving your limbs. Bringing your feet, your legs together if you want to come out of your Shavasana. Taking a deep stretch. And draw knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, a cuddle. Thanking yourself for showing up on your mat this evening. And just offering gratitude to your body for all it can do, and to those around you who support and love you on this journey through life. Rocking to your right hand side when you're ready and joining me in a comfortable seat. Bringing our hands into Anjali Mudra at our heart center. Just reconnecting with your breath. We'll finish with the sacred sound Om and 3 Shantis. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Take an inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Raising our hands to our heads for kindness in our thoughts, to ourselves and others, to our hearts for kindness in our actions, and to our lips for kindness in our words. From my heart to your heart, always. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope you all feel a little bit calmer in the mind and a little bit more open in the body, maybe a little bit more energy than before you started the class. If you're in Shavasana. I'm going to leave you in your Shavasana. I'm not going to talk too much. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, you guys. I will be back with you on Sunday morning for a nice, gentle morning stretch at 10 a.m. So join me then if you can. Otherwise, I shall see you in the week. As always, please like the video if you liked it. Please share it. If you know others that might appreciate this video or any of my other videos. And please make a financial, if you're financially stable enough to do so, make a small donation. The link is always in the description of my videos. Oh, thank you, Sally. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, it was a nice, gentle end to the week. So it's good to see you. And I managed to get on. I had a bit of issues when I was setting up the live feed. It didn't work, so I had to reset it, and it seemed to work second time around. So if you know, I've been having some trouble with my computers. This is the second computer. This is my partner's computer. It's still overheated, so I don't know what happens with YouTube live streams. My computers just don't seem to like it for some reason, but we're doing well today. I've got an ice pack under it. Seems to be working. So keeping that computer cool. But I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to leave you to your weekend, and I shall see some of you Sunday morning. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Love to you all. Stay safe, stay sane.